Good evening, everyone. I am Angel. Welcome to the channel. A couple of months ago, my friend Ronald lent me these two books, The Mummy I Loved the Most and The Huiracocha Report, both written by Peruvian journalist, producer, and musician Francisco Mejorada Chauca. I finished the first one, and I have to say I'm shocked in a positive way, of course. Mr. Mejorada's first novel was Pachacutec's DNA, and I guess it would have been better to read that first. However, The Mummy I Loved the Most possesses such a variety of topics put together that it might appeal to those interested in science, history, astronomy, or even science fiction. In 230 pages and 12 chapters, this book deals with the never-ending quest for the mummy of the greatest ruler of the Inca Empire, Pachacutec Inca Yupanqui, who died in the second half of the 15th century. One of the main characters, and the most confusing one in my opinion, is Jacinta, the daughter of Teodoro Hamac, a professor who is convinced, as many others, that the mummy should be in Lima's city center. Coming back to Jacinta, the question is, who was she? At times she is an Aklia, a chosen woman of the Inca Empire, who was sacrificed to calm the Ampato volcano in Arequipa. And in the present, she is a woman who is fighting for her life and her baby's life in a hospital. Will she be sacrificed again? Mr. Hamac is the typical researcher who has devoted his life to that passion, that elusive mummy which in a current time full of every time a problem from political to ecological might bring back the balance lost so many centuries ago. So the myth of Ingari is relevant here. One of his pupils, Joaquin, proved to be almost as passionate as him. And here is how the reader is taken into the intricacies of Incan history, astronomy, enigmas, and even philosophy. So if you are not so familiar with the Incan civilization, it might either be rather complicated to follow the story, or it might be a fascinating trip. In my case, I already knew that unlike other peoples, the Incas saw constellations in the Milky Way based on empty spaces rather than groups of stars. You can see a picture of this on page 99. That's an idealization, of course, an idealized picture. The llama, the fox, the frog, the snake, and others. It was so fascinating to discover the easy and at the same time difficult fact that they are like an open book, which you need to understand in order to find clues here on Earth. As well as those constellations, the system of seques, or lines which organized the Inca huacas or sacred places, was essential to try to find some mummies of children sacrificed. What Joaquin intended to find was a site which closed the triangle established in Ampato, Arequipa, Peru, and Llullaihuaco in Salta, Argentina. It had to be in some area of Cusco. You can see the map here, the triangle there. Phrases in Quechua, a woman who belonged to the past and to the present, analysis, theories, tragedy, and philosophical phrases is something that amazed me and made me realize how little I do know about the Incas. Of course, this is a novel, not a history book, and it might be very difficult to distinguish fact from fiction. But then again, this makes the book even more interesting, more of a detective story than the historical one that at first I thought. What evidence is found in the city center of Lima which might help find the elusive mummy? What was the role of this painting of Saint Anne and this one-word message, Ampato? Perhaps, apart from studying pre-Hispanic myths and colonial chronicles, those clues might prove essential. It's a pity that I had no idea about the author nor his works, yet it's highly, highly recommendable. Bye bye.